It's your girl, Nautica De La Cruz for 102.3 Radio Free KJLH and KJLHradio.com. It is my pleasure to introduce to you producer, author, and preacher, Mr. Devon Franklin. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Well, welcome to KJLH. Have you been here before?
I've been here before.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, it
okay.
feels like coming home.
Okay, but it's the first time with me, though.
That is correct. So it is a new experience at home.
There you go. Well, I hope it's going to be a pleasant experience because we have a lot to talk about today.
Yes.
So first of all, you have a brand new book. It's called The Wait.
Yes.
And your beautiful wife couldn't be here today, but that's okay. She's here in spirit.
Yes, she is.
And so you're coming up on your 4 years of marriage pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So how has the process of from the day that you met her till now been for you? Now, I understand that, you know, when you met, you decided that you wanted to practice celibacy, which is not something that is very common nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we met. I was already practicing the wait, and she had just started practicing the wait. So when we got together, it was cool that we both were already doing it.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a new thing that we were trying to get each other to do. We both were already on that page. Okay. It was actually part of the confirmation that we were seeking. If, you know, whether or not we were on the same page and if we were going to the same place. It's like when we had that conversation and both of us were like, oh, good. So maybe this is meant to be. Because like you said, it's very, very rare to find somebody that's already doing it or that would even want to do it with you. So when we found that in each other, it really just drew us closer to one another and really made us feel more confident and comfortable in allowing our guard down. Because, you know, when you talk about from the first moment we met to now, almost 4 years of marriage, it's been a process. Mm-hmm. And, you know, even though I've been in the public eye to a degree, I certainly haven't been in the public eye like her. So right. It's like, you know, for all intents and purposes, she's a celebrity, and, you know, I'm just Devon. And so getting to know her, it was like, okay, I can't get to know the celebrity. You know, I have to get to know the person. And she can't get to know the executive, because I was an executive at that time. It was about her getting a chance to know who I really was. And that process has been an ongoing process. And even 4 years in, we're still getting to know each other in various ways.
What was it about Megan? I mean, besides that she is one of the most beautiful women on the planet, but what was it about Megan that made you be interested in her?
You know, it was really her heart. I mean, she's such a thoughtful, sweet, sincere, loving person. And, you know, not everyone who does not know her gets a chance to experience that side of her. But people who have had a chance to meet her and spend time around her, that's the number one thing that they say. And it's so true. And so for me, when I got a chance to meet her, it's just like, I mean, just her conversation, her outlook, and her compassion. And those were some of the things that really drew me to her. Because at the end of the day, I mean, as you know, and you've come across people, and, you know, you've seen this in different relationships, you can't marry beauty externally. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, they look great, but at the end of the day, if you don't have something else connecting you, that beauty is very fleeting. And so for her, it was really about the beauty of her heart and her soul and her spirit that I fell in love with. And it just so happened that she was gorgeous as well.
I see. Now, when you, you know, I know that both of you had previous relationships. When you started dating Megan, and even though in your mind you were already practicing celibacy, what did you say to yourself? Okay, I really like this woman, and what was it that you said, I am not going to do this in this relationship besides celibacy?
I was not going to run. I was not going to fear commitment.
Okay.
I was not going to be distant. Those were definitely some of the things that I made a choice not to do. Okay. Because in other relationships and other dating situations, you know, I was all about my career, and so because that was my focus, a lot of my dating was at an arm's distance. I see. So I would still do it. We would hang out, but I would never really open myself up. I would never necessarily be completely there. I would be present in the moment, but then I would be, after the moment, I'm gone. Gotcha. And so with her, I made a conscious effort to be present, to be open, to be transparent, to allow myself to feel. Because sometimes, especially as men, you know, that's not what you want to do. Right. You're like, hey, I don't want to feel. I don't want to do that. And so with her, I really opened myself up and said, okay, if this is meant to be, then I need to find out, and I need to be open as possible to discern if that's really what I'm supposed to do.
I see. So in a moment in your time, in your past life, looks like you were kind of married to your job in a way.
Yeah.
I know, because I know where you
understand
used to
that.
work. Yes,
Yes.
I completely understand. You know, it took me, I've been married 17 years,
Wow.
but I was also married and committed to my job where I prolonged having a child. You know, it's that, and I'm sure that some of our listeners could go understand that, you know, say, oh, one more year, let me sign another contract, or let me sign another 2-year
Yes,
contract.
yes.
You know, so I understand that, but you know, being married to our job is not actually everything. Yes, we have to survive and eat, but being in a good relationship means everything.
It does.
And now that you are in a good relationship, and before you got into this state of mind, did both of you have baggage that you worked out together and laid it out on the table like a deck of cards?
Well, it wasn't quite that clean.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
yes, the answer is yes, we definitely had baggage.
Okay.
But I think the process of baggage is an interesting one.
Yes.
Because there's some baggage you don't mind letting the other person know you're carrying. There's other baggage you try and hide. So it's like not until you get deeper in the relationship when you said, well, wait, I thought I knew all the baggage. I thought you showed me all the baggage, but you were hiding this big old bag behind your bag, right?
Right.
Or I was hiding a bag. So the process of us dealing with our baggage was really a process.
Okay.
And there were some things that we both were kind of more okay with admitting, and there were other things that just took time. And with time, getting a chance to really know each other, there's some baggage that we're so used to carrying, we don't even know we're carrying it. And so we found out during the process, like, oh, wow, I didn't even know I was still carrying that. And I didn't know you were still carrying it. And so it's really been a process of allowing each other to feel comfortable enough to let go of that baggage. And also, I think in a healthy relationship, so many times we're focused on the letting go, but I think what really happens is that you want to find somebody who'll help you carry it.
See.
And not judge you because you have it.
Okay.
It's like, you know how you get on a plane and you look at somebody and say, man, you're taking a lot of stuff. Well, you don't know where they're going.
Right.
And when they get off the plane, oh, wow, you checked all that baggage? Well, you don't know where they've been. So we judge people by what they have instead of saying, well, you know what, I love you as is with all your baggage. Now let me help you unpack.
I see. When is, and in your line of expertise, when you're in a relationship, whether it's new or you've been committed, to one another for a year, is there an actual right time to lay that baggage out, to be so honest?
I think that you have to go into a relationship in a spirit of honesty. Now, how honest you are, in my opinion, really comes from to what degree of trust has been earned. So some people, before they even had a chance to vet if the person they're dating is someone that is worth their time long term, begin to be real honest up front and about this stuff and exposing their heart and exposing all these things. And this person may not even be the person that's really going to be there. So you have to first say, you know what, I'm going to be honest with who I am, but I'm also going to be smart. Because I need to know, is this really someone that I want to spend time with? And is this someone that wants to spend time with me? And as you're in it and you lay a foundation of trust, you'll begin to see, oh yes, I can trust this person. I've given it enough time. And I think the thing that works against us in this area is impatience.
Yes.
We just want to microwave that relationship. We want to microwave that dating thing. Hey, I've known him or her for 3 weeks. I love them. They're great. I'm going to tell them everything. It's like, wait, let me tell you,
Yes.
3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. There's a whole lot more you're going to know.
Okay.
So I think you have to have a spirit of honesty where you want to be honest and you have every intention, but you also are waiting to see if this person is worthy of all the honesty you have to offer.
What about, we're living in the world of social media and Instagram and all the girls looking like this and instant gratification. And in your book you talk about, that's one of the things, instant gratification. What could be the process as a human being to say to yourself, I have to control myself and I should really wait because I don't want to waste my time on a person that may not be the future for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one of the things we talk about in the book, and one of the things that I talk about when I go and speak, and same with Megan. Because when you talk about giving your body, at the end of the day, if you gave someone money, you'll get money back.
Right.
You know, you gave someone clothes, you'll get clothes back. You give them shoes, they'll get shoes back. But when you've given someone your body, they have that experience forever.
Okay.
And a lot of times we don't value ourselves, so we don't always value who we give our body to and how we give it to them. And at the end of the day, for me, you know, my body as a man, your body as a woman, it's important to make vital decisions on who's really worthy of it.
I see.
And I think that in this world of instant gratification and Snapchat and all this kind of stuff, and people think that, oh, you know, it's about the looks and the likes and all that kind of thing, that there's a diminishment of value specifically in this area. And what we're trying to say is, wait, stop for a minute. You are incredibly valuable. And this is the most important thing you can give someone. So please don't look at it casually. Because in that casual transaction, sometimes what comes back is disease, unplanned pregnancy,
True.
and forever life being changed. Because in a moment, I didn't value what was happening, but then I came out of it with things I never planned for.
That is true.
So the goal with the wait, whether people decide to ultimately wait until marriage or not, which is really what the book is suggesting and encouraging, that still waiting and thinking about these decisions will produce what we believe a healthier life long term.
Now you and your wife wrote this book, The Wait, and it seems like it's starting slow, but it's getting there. The trend of celibacy. I know that Sierra and
Yes.
Her fiance Russell are practicing
Yes.
it. When you found that out through social media or magazine or whatever, and you saw that, how did that make you feel?
I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome because I think that we live in a culture, you know, and you're at radio and
Yes.
you know, you see it and you hear what's going on, you know, what's out there in the culture. And so the idea that these messages can cut through and get so much traction. I saw the clip when Russell was at the church in San Diego and spoke about it. We even referenced it in the book. And, you know, the media just went crazy. And I think that's great because I think it's important for this generation to know that there is another way.
Right.
And that there is a way to live life when you can preserve who you are and preserve your health and preserve your well-being, and you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And it's cool to wait. And I think that's what's happening, is that through our book and through, you know, their relationship and others out there like it, that people are getting the courage to wait. I mean, we have been traveling the country, and almost everywhere we go. I mean, last week we went to yoga together.
Okay.
And there was somebody at the desk saying, "Hey, I just got the book, and thank you, and you know, you're encouraging me to wait." So we love the idea that this message can become part of the culture, and that people can find it. And for those that really are looking for something different, it really provides that in a way that we believe will make their life incredibly successful.
I have a friend who read your book, and she said that the last relationship she was in, that was her last relationship, because she says, "I'm following this." She goes, "I'm tired of giving up myself and my body and my soul." And you know, it's also a motto that I think a lot of women should practice, because you're right. There is a lot of diseases that can come out of being, you know, monogamous, and also unplanned, unwanted pregnancies as well. And we live in a very populated world.
Yeah.
But I also love the fact that, you know, you preaching the fact that this is something that is not new to society.
No.
I'm from Latin culture, and you know, we were taught that we save ourselves for marriage.
Yes.
And you don't hear too many people talk about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure other cultures do too as well. But I think bringing back, you know how they say, Devon, they say everything old is new?
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
we're back at it. That goes with
Right.
fashion, that goes with morals, that goes with
It's
values.
true, and I completely agree. And I think that just because something is quote unquote old doesn't mean that it's outdated.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that is missing sometimes in this generation, you know, not even just in the area of love, but of life and career, and this idea that, you know, oh, I don't have to really work hard. I can just be cool, or I can just post a video on YouTube and things happen. And it's like, no, at the end of the day, you might by a fluke find success, but to sustain it, the old school way is the way. Hard work, perseverance, commitment, and patience, and the same thing in our love life. It's like we do have to be patient, and when we are, and we do save ourselves. And I think part of the thing is that, and one of the ways we talk about practicing the wait, is that even as a kid growing up and when I was taught about waiting, it was always taught to me with a no or a don't. Don't do this. And that's where it stopped. The conversation started and stopped at don't. Well, okay, but how? How do I do that? And we talk about the how, and we talk about the wait in terms of a yes. Yes, choose the best life for yourself. Yes, choose, God's plan for your life. Yes, choose your health. Yes, choose the relationship you want. And I think that's why the book is getting so much traction, is because it's not framed in a don't, it's framed in a yes, in a positive, affirmative choice for the things that you want to see happen in your life.
I see that. What is your response when you go out in public and you preach to thousands of people, and the conference is over, or the ceremony is over, and people come up to you? What kind of responses do you get? Do you get more positives than negatives, or have you ever gotten something that just kind of triggered that little light bulb and was like, let me rethink this? No?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, the response has been incredibly positive. I mean, think about it. How many, and I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, I'm just saying, how many, young black men are out there, or young men period, are out there talking about, hey, wait, and using their platform, especially in entertainment, to say, you know what, even as a man, if you build a lifestyle of chasing it, and you have no discipline in this area,
right,
you're setting your life up for major challenges and major hurdles. And then you lay a foundation that sets your next generation, because I've come from a long line of men that had no discipline. And in my life, I had to make a decision. I don't want to end up like them. I don't want to end up. So me sharing that and being transparent, the response has been incredible, because it's not out there.
Right.
Like you said earlier, it's just not out there. So people have come up. I mean, I think people, one of the areas where they get it. This is like, wow, can it be done? Can I do it? Should I do it? I think it's more the questioning, because the message sometimes is so convicting and so challenging that people aren't always ready for it.
Gotcha.
Because they're not necessarily ready for a change like that.
Right.
It's like, no, tell me how to make it in my career. Tell me how to get to the next level. But don't talk to me about what's going on there, because what you're saying makes a lot of sense, man, but I don't know if I have enough strength.
Yes.
And so a lot of the comments have been of that nature, but not so much as of a negative nature.
Right. And in that sense, sex is gratifying. Sex is a great feeling, but also, you kind of have to think as a woman and as a man, if I give myself to this person, what's going to happen next?
That's right.
Whether it's a 3-week relationship, a one-night stand, or a 3-month relationship. You know what I mean? And so what ends up happening is it's just a list of people.
Or even a 3-year relationship.
Yes.
And I mean, it's like and Megan talks about this, especially from her vantage point and what she experienced when she was dating, but the damage that is done long term. And that's where a lot of the baggage comes from how we date and who we date and things we do, we've done and we may regret. I mean, a lot of that baggage comes from those things. So what you're saying is completely true.
Yes.
It's completely true.